My name is Andre Lee. I am the founder of the ICU Network, which is a network with the mandate of improving, strengthening the inclusion, presence, and participation of social health activities in the lives of people of color. Social health activities are cycling, hiking, camping, spelunking, any and everything that people do to feel social and helpful. That's what we're here to do. So today I am trying to get the opinions and perspectives of people about an possible change to a valuable resource in our city, Washington, D.C. It is in Rock Creek Park. Rock Creek Park is a fantastic park, in my opinion, a fantastic resource for the city that helps people stay healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally. So the upcoming change is possibly closing Beach Drive in Rock Creek Park at a certain section, closing it permanently to cars. During the pandemic, the National Park Service, thank you Park Service, closed a section of Beach Drive for cars to let people go use it. All right, you can walk, you can run, you can bike, you can roll on the ground, you can do whatever you want. As society has opened up, as the pandemic has lessened, other sections have been open for cars. So there's a proposal that has been spearheaded by Peter Harnick, cool guy, I met him. For the last 30 years, he's been trying to do this, to close Beach Drive at I think from the corner of Broad Branch until the Maryland DC line, to close that section totally off to cars. That's been his goal for a very long time. That there is a public hearing, a virtual public hearing. Anyway, so what I want to do is get a sense of how people are feeling about it, and if they feel like they should close Beach Drive to cars permanently, maybe a mix, or not at all. What I have noticed is from others, speaking to other people, that there is definitely different perspectives and reasons for perspectives that are incredibly valid, that I think should play a role in the decision. And this is just an opportunity for people to share their lived experience. Anyway, let's check it out.
All right, that's good.
All right, so how you doing, bud?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
What's your name?
Phil Fenty.
The Phil Fenty?
Well, I'm Phil Fenty.
No,
I don't know
the Phil Fenty. Yes, if you don't know the Phil Fenty, this is the Phil Fenty. How's it going?
It's going great.
Awesome.
It's going great.
All right, so the question we have is your support or mixed support or no support of closing Beach Drive permanently. What you got?
I've been riding on Beach Drive over 40 years. And so when they closed it on weekends, it was good, but I always thought it should be closed completely.
Yeah.
I think it should be closed all the way to East-West Highway, and then Maryland can do it at once on their side. But it's been great having it closed all week during the week to ride and people to walk and people to get a better use of the park.
Yeah, I hear that. What do you say about mixed use? Say, because someone before suggested, the whole family actually suggested that they can understand being able to use it because they brought their kids in it. They were like, we love this, but they also understand if it's used as a road partially 2.5 hours a day for rush hour during the week, but still closed on the weekends. What do you think about that?
I think from what I heard on the radio yesterday, that was on Kojo's show, I think they said that they're going to do another survey. I think Mendelson said they're going to do another survey. I know they did one earlier in the pandemic. Yeah. There was somebody out here doing a count. I think it's according to who does the survey probably is how it'll come out. I'd like it close to, and so bikes and people walking and kids can use it all the time.
I totally dig that. Phil, Mr. Fenty, that's what's up. That's what's going on.
All right.
I appreciate you taking the time and participating.
Good.
In this.
I'm glad you did that because I was thinking of getting involved in some kind of way, and I didn't know how it would happen. So this is a real nice thing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good.
Glad I'm making a contribution.
Good.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Andre. What's your name?
Emma.
Okay, Emma. Have you heard about the proposal to close Beach Drive to car traffic?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you have? Okay, fantastic. I see you are a biker. So,
Yes.
right. So, how do you feel about it? and why?
So, as a cyclist, I am pro the proposal. Partially, I'm a yoga teacher professionally, and so I have a non-traditional schedule. So weekends are actually really busy for me. That's because that's when people want to do yoga classes and fitness classes and wellness classes. So like a Wednesday at 10 a.m. is
Yeah.
ideal for me for going and riding. And so I actually, pre the pandemic, when all of my studios closed, like I just never ever had never been here once, and I've lived here like in this neighborhood for 4 years.
Okay.
And so just I'm going to speak for the people with non-traditional schedules.
Yeah, that's
who
fine.
would never get to use it on the weekend
Okay.
and would love to use it during the week.
Well, it's good because I mean this effort of mine is to have as many different voices as possible,
Yeah.
and I don't know if I've had anyone who has non-traditional voice.
Wanted
or
to come at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday. That's perfect for me,
Yeah.
actually.
Well, actually, yeah. I mean, because I've heard, the timing is an issue for the opening or the closing, and I understand that. If most folks do have 9 to 5s,
Mm-hmm.
pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
The post-pandemic world is coming, and what is that going to look like, and how is the closure going to impact? I mean, that's it's consideration, but also what you do and how your schedule is also matters and should be part of the conversation. So I totally appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, cool.
Thank you, Andre. I appreciate it.
Hey, you're very welcome. Awesome. All right. Hi, how you doing?
Hey,
My name is Andre. What's your name?
I'm Ray.
Ray, how are you doing? So, do you know about the proposed changes to Beach Drive that NPS may be considering?
Yes.
Which is to close Beach Drive from Broad Branch all the way, I guess, to the DC line permanently to cars. Yeah?
Yes.
Well, all right. How do you feel about that?
I feel great about that.
Okay. Can you tell me why?
So during the pandemic, I have come out here every day.
Okay.
And I come out in the morning, during rush hour, and walk at my walk-in. I come here and I bike, I run on the trails, and it's nice to have a ability to do it down by the road here
Mm-hmm.
and not be, when I'm on my bike, it's nice to be on the road and not worry about cars
Sure.
on me the whole time, and because you can never go as fast as they want you to go. And it's also nice to walk or run and not have cars and breathe in the exhaust as you're
The
working
exhaust.
out. Yeah.
Right. So, not too many people have pointed out the pollution angle. What do you?
Yeah.
Tell me more about that if you can.
Yeah. So that's the other piece too. As a public health nurse, I'm very concerned about people being in healthy spaces, being outside, because especially during the pandemic, kids have been stuck inside, people have been stuck inside. And this was one place, at least for people who could get to this, where they could be out and breathing in air that's not filled with car exhaust.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
and we know there is research to support that it's good for the body, it's good for the nervous system, it's good for the emotional health.
Yes.
And I'm all about that. I want my patients, I want myself, I want my neighbors to have that chance to be in a space where they're not both breathing it in but also hearing it, because there's that piece too, that noise
Like
pollution.
hearing cars, hearing.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is one of the few places that I know of in Washington, D.C. where you could actually come and not hear cars. And people don't know how great that is until they can actually experience it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Like the peace and quiet.
Yeah,
Okay. Like the buzz of bikes. But
right.
yeah.
That doesn't bother me. It's the sound of like people with their car, just the car itself, but then the radio's blaring and whatever's going on.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, it's a possibility. They can do that anywhere else in the city. Why can't we have one space where
Just a calming your
Yeah.
physiology, calming your nervous
your
system.
whole body goes, yeah.
Right, I dig it. Okay. What do you say about, this is another question I have. What do you say about mixed use space? Like being able to have that, the space to visit and get the benefits of nature
Uh-huh.
and impacting your physiology, impacting your state of mind,
Yeah.
but also, since this is a road, connecting people to the city.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about using that? Sometimes, say, rush hour.
Yeah.
That's the perspective I've gotten from a couple of people. How
Yeah.
do you?
I'm
How would you fit into that?
I would have been said absolutely. There's got to be other places people can drive, and
Mhm.
I guess that's part of it too. Is like I would just want to know, has the research been done enough to know are these other routes going to be impacted once people are on the roads more?
Yeah.
Is that really going to make a huge difference? If it is, then I can see, mixed use. Even though, as a person who really likes being here during rush hour, and I know a lot of other people do too, I also understand that we want people to, we want to share. We want to be responsible citizens, and
Yeah.
But if the research shows that it really doesn't have that big of an impact, then why? I mean, of course, some people will always say they'd prefer to go this way because it's
Sure.
easier. But I'd say if it's not that big of an impact, then
Right.
let's keep one space.
So more
Sure.
information.
Yeah.
What I like is that, like the fact that no one is absolutely wedded to an idea when there are other options.
Right.
So let's hopefully this will influence some people.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I want to say one last thing.
Yeah,
the
please
Nurse
do.
National Park Service too, since this is going to be going. So maybe they have already done or doing research on how is this impacting the health of the trees and the the wildlife that's here
Right,
too.
the flora and the fauna.
Exactly.
Right,
Flora and fauna.
I've gotten a couple of emails discussing just that.
Yeah.
Or concerns just about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right, awesome.
thanks.
Thank you. All right, what's up? How you doing?
How's it going?
My name's Andre. What's your name?
Sam Foreman.
Where you from?
I'm from here, from DC, live on Connecticut Avenue.
Fantastic. So have you heard about the proposal coming up to close Beach Drive permanently after, I guess, post-pandemic USA?
Yep,
Yeah?
I have. Yep.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's a good proposal. We walk down here daily and long walks with our dogs on the weekends.
Okay.
We also use our cars to get around and go to Rock Creek Park golf course, and we have not been, we haven't had any issue with Beach Drive closed from a car perspective.
Okay, cool. I dig that. As I think I've told you that we've gotten, or as you can see, we've gotten mixed reviews. We have some people who are absolutely no, some people are absolutely yes, and some folks who. How do you feel about mixed use? How do you feel about like use in the rush hour, like rush hours, 2.5 hours in the morning, 2.5 hours in the evening, but then closed every other moment?
Yeah, I feel like, it used to be during the weeks and then closing the weekends, but we walk down here in the mornings now, so we would prefer it closed in the morning as well.
All right, totally dig that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, mixed, would be better than what it was previously, but
True that.
we prefer a full close for
Okay.
us personally. Yeah.
All right, I dig it.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Yep.
Hi, how
Hi.
you doing?
Good.
What's your name?
Molly Foreman.
All right. Hey, Molly. So you just heard the conversation. How do you feel about closing Beach Drive permanently?
I feel pretty similarly. I think even being down here every day as much as we have been, there's a lot of use throughout the community.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really been a good thing. I understand the concern about traffic as the pandemic comes to an end and traffic picks back up. What does that mean? So I think it's something that'll have to be studied, in the surrounding areas. If it does remain permanently closed, then maybe if the traffic picks up and it's an issue, then maybe we do need to go to a mixed, scenario. But definitely rush hour in the morning and the evening is when most of the people are walking and biking here.
That's kinda tough.
So that would be
That
a
would be
conflict.
kind of tough to share that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, how about this? So this is my personal idea. So I rode my bike once from the mall along Beach Drive northbound, right? And there were no cars. All the traffic was going the other direction, right? So the idea I had was, if we're going to use Beach Drive for rush hour traffic, to use both lanes to move more cars out, and then for 2 hours, and then for an hour, use that same lane just for bikes. Right? So it would be just like it is for Rock Creek Matoma Parkway, where it's 4 lanes going one way, but that far left lane would just be for bicycles. Going both ways, because there's enough space.
Yeah.
Because what I've heard is using the bikes on the trail, and then you have the walkers and the runners and the scooters and the baby people pushers, and it just gets crowded.
Congested.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that's a yes.
Yes. Yeah. I think
right.
that's a happy medium. Yeah.
You hear that, NPS? All right. Thanks, Molly. Thanks, Sam.
you.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Okay. All right. Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. My name's Andre. What's your name?
Edith.
All right, Edith, do you know about the proposal or the possible proposal to close Beach Drive permanently?
Yes.
Okay, and how do you feel about that and why?
I support closing it permanently.
Okay.
I've been one of the many people who've enjoyed the closure through the pandemic, and I've also ridden it on and off and have run the trails before the pandemic. And I remember not seeing that many cars, even on weekdays, and thinking, wow, I wish I could run or bike through this road, but the cars have been kind of aggressive because it's mostly like, it's been far and few in between, but they've been like commuters who are really like determined to get to work fast. So it felt unsafe, and I've just really enjoyed how safe and welcoming the park has been since the closures, and I want to see it closed forever.
I totally dig that. All right, cool. So that means you've been using this park for a while and would love to be able just to use the road because it's nice and smooth. Without cars, you'd feel a lot safer.
Yeah.
What do you say about the idea of mixing it up? Say, cars for rush hour, like for a couple hours in the morning, couple hours in the evening, and then close the rest of the time, and also on the weekends. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think it's a good idea in general. I would probably encourage us first to let it stay closed and then see if there is an adverse effect on commutes and on other routes, because that's the concern. Okay. Let's see what happens. Let's see how many, not everyone's going back to work in person. I mean, a lot of people will be, but not everyone. So let's see what the effect is before we rush to bring it back to normal on this road as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Edith.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
You did
All right, hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
What's your name?
I'm Sue Majewski.
Sue Majewski. So do you know the proposal to close Beach Drive to cars is coming up?
Yes.
How do you feel about that and why?
I want to keep it closed.
Okay.
I live locally, I'm a cyclist. I was out here pretty much every day during the pandemic. Early morning, middle of the day, late in the day, there were always tons and tons of people out here. That is still the case now. I personally am going to have to go back to work probably in September downtown. And honestly, I don't really want to ride the subway. So my plan is to ride my bike.
Okay.
And I plan to be out here. It is the happy, healthy place to be.
You feel good doing it, right?
I do.
All right. How about this proposal? This is my personal proposal or idea, right? I was riding my bike northbound on Beach one day, early in the morning, and I realized there were no cars on the northbound side.
Okay.
Right? So I had the idea, if there are going to be cars, there are going to be cars at least in that part.
Right, yeah.
At least.
Right.
I thought if we used the northbound lane for southbound traffic, the volume would be the same amount of cars,
Right.
but the flow would be better.
I think that'd be a great idea.
And check this out. You're going to love this part. This part is for 2 hours do that. For the last hour, just have that left lane for bikes all the way down to the mall.
I think that would be wonderful. There is a plan that's already been approved to make bike lanes somewhere down there, I think, to improve it. And there's also a plan that's already been approved to have bike lanes from here up to Broad Branch. But, it may be a few years before all that stuff gets implemented. And we need a solution now.
Yeah, that's 2023.
Right, yeah.
Possibly.
So
probably.
I think that the kind of solution you're talking about is absolutely the way we should be going. And I will also say, in my own personal experience riding around, what I see is a lot of people on e-bikes. And, I realize that there's an affordability issue, of course there is, but I think that if we were to keep Beach Drive closed, you would see more and more and more cyclists, because those who could afford e-bikes would be using them, and it's very effortless. And those of us who can't, including myself, this is our chance to be healthy and enjoy what we've got here. So
I totally dig it. So I have a question then, because there have been some mixed supporters where they would say rush hour, using this part of Beach Drive for rush hour in the morning and afternoon, but close it for the rest of the day. So that would be 7 to 9:30, and then 9:30 to 3:30, and then all the weekend. What do you think
Right,
about
but
that?
the thing is that closes off people like myself from commuting on Beach Drive.
For rush hour.
Yeah, for rush hour. I mean, I'd be commuting at rush hour.
Yeah.
So unless the city comes up with some other plan to close some other streets and let cyclists do that,
Yeah.
I don't see that really working.
Yeah. That'd be kind of tough, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, Sue. Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for
Appreciate
doing
it.
this.
No,
I
it's
appreciate it too.
it's for you and for everyone else.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
You too. How you doing? What's your name?
Steve Seeley, good to meet you. Thanks
Good
for
to meet
doing
you.
this.
Hey, you're very welcome. Where do you live?
I live on Ingomar Street, less than a mile from the entrance to the park. I have to come up and down Broad Branch Road, which is filled with traffic. It's
Okay.
the scariest part of my ride.
I can imagine. So you do know about the proposal?
Yes, sir.
Yes, the proposal to possibly close Beach Drive to any traffic.
That's right, to keep it as is and has been since the pandemic began, yes.
Right. So what is your position on that, and why?
Well, my position is that this park is used by thousands of people every day. I think if our friends at NPS were to visit with some of the counts on the amount of users, they'd come up with the notion that as many people use it for bike riding, for walking, little kids use it, as people who would be commuters. I would also say that we hear a lot about what people are saying about there's too much traffic on their streets. And my position on that is, in any street in the city, if you ask somebody, their answer would be, any traffic on my street is too much traffic. So I think anything that we base these questions about diversions about should be focused on what's a safe traffic flow and what is it that DDOT adjudges is normal for a similar street that's in that classification. And I would further say that NPS really needs to focus on the data that they get from DDOT and the data that they get from different observations about use here in the park in making their assessment.
Okay. Very well said. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. All right, so there's also a proposal. Actually, it's my proposal. Not even a proposal, just the idea.
Reggie's
Throwing it against the wall, see what happens. To adjust the lane flow, and instead to use 2 lanes one way on Beach Drive, just like it is on Rock Creek and Potomac Parkway. So you just continue. It would just be a continuation.
And what would you do with the rest of the time? What are you going to do with the rest of the time? Just keep it open also? So you want to basically open it up for traffic and even more traffic flow, it sounds like. So my reaction to that is that having 2 lanes of traffic coming in this direction is going to induce more traffic into this area. I think NPS's job is to really focus on the environmental impacts, and I would say that their focus and decision would not be to bring even more cars into the park and take them off city roads. So I just think that should be a non-starter, and I would be against that, yes.
All right. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So you saw the videos, and it was revealing. It was revealing. The consensus was, it's different. I'll say that. I'll say that first. The mix of people were people who stopped to talk to me about it and be on camera and to make it a public visual record, and then others who didn't really want to talk but were riding by, walking by, jogging by, that either gave a thumbs up or a thumbs up for the mixed, or a thumbs down for no. And this is what it looked like. It looked like, in the end, we had out of 37 respondents, we had 30 people say yes, 6 with the mix, and 1 with the no. So, but make, just to be clear, that's just for people just seeing what you saw was, should we close the Rock Creek or Beach Drive to cars? And just simply asking that. And with any question, depending on how you ask it, you get different responses. But we'll say this, when I spoke to folks, just like you saw in the videos, and proposed the idea of mixing, right? Just having rush hour availability for cars in the morning and afternoon or evening or whatever, everyone was like, sure, cool, no problem, except one person. Yeah, but most people were like, yeah, that would be fine. That'd be probably a fair use. I think so too. I didn't want to influence anybody. I hope I really didn't, because I'm dressed in my bike gear. So hopefully people thought, I'm for yes. But anyway, so that's what happened. A couple of different points, though. Even for the folks, one couple who said they could understand mixing up the availability of cars, say in a rush hour, they walk in the morning. Yeah, they walk in the morning, so that wouldn't work for them. And then also, 2 young women who didn't say this on camera, they said that they appreciate the fact that people are walking along Beach Drive in the morning, because that's when they go running the trails, right? The trails across the creek over there and right here behind me, that they go running and walking in the trails by themselves. And the fact that there are people on the road within earshot in case something happens. They fall down the hill, twist an ankle, someone accosts them, something, they feel a whole lot safer. Never thought about that. And this is kind of the reason to talk to people, to see what their lived experience is like. And if there's a way we can use our imaginations to try and address those needs. They probably aren't the only people who feel like that. And there are probably other issues, other situations that we put our minds to, we could probably address. I don't know. When I posed a question about the 2-way or the 2-lane one-way, folks are like, all right, you saw the videos. It was a yes, definite yes. I don't know the details of what that would look like, but I'm imagining it being a good one. And to address both of those, the people who walk in the morning, and also for the folks who use the trails, but like it that there are people on Beach Drive within earshot that aren't in cars with the windows up, listen to the radio, listen to NPR or whatever. We can also mix up the road. So one possibility, I'm just spitballing, is northbound traffic, AM rush hour is southbound, right? Main traffic is southbound. That same northbound lane, which doesn't have a lot of cars, you can just close that, especially I'm only talking about for mixed use from Broad Branch to the DC line, maybe to the DC line, but definitely from Broad Branch, at least, because it has a gate there. So if we're not going to use the northbound lane, we can open that lane up to people, just like it is now, right? And the width is about the same as the trail, which has everybody on it anyway. One issue, though, I think would be you got to definitely drop the speed limit if they're going to be cars on the other side of the road. But I've seen that done in other places. I've seen that done in Europe. I've seen that done in other places. We can definitely do it here. But I'm just throwing stuff out. Trying to address the needs of everyone. This is about social health. This is about physical health, mental health, physical health, and just the health of the city. So we just put our minds together. We can figure stuff out. But we got to get these ideas. We have to get the ideas out, to get the perspectives out. That's what this is. Anyway, I'm going to go to the other end of Beach Drive and get some more perspectives at the DC Maryland line. They'll definitely be different, especially if there are folks who are more the folks who can be coming from Maryland or live in Maryland, and maybe they're commuters. Because here, I think I got the perspective of people who live around here, which is kind of the case. Let's see what people who, maybe some people who commute in, see what they say. Yeah? All right, it's Andre Lee, ICU Network. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. I appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones. Try and do the same. I'm out.